You're a little dirty. Hi, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am going to be doing a full face of Charlotte Tilbury makeup. I asked you guys on Instagram what brand you would want to see me do a full face of, and Kosas was actually the #1 brand that you guys wanted to see, and I went to Sephora and I had full intention of buying some Kosas products and putting them on my face today, but the Sephora that I went to had pretty much nothing in stock. So I'm definitely gonna have to make an online order, but that will be coming soon. So I figured I would do the second most requested brand, which was Charlotte Tilbury. I'm very happy to be doing Charlotte Tilbury today because it really is probably one of my favorite brands. There's a lot of products from Charlotte Tilbury that I love that are some holy grails. There are also some that I don't love so much, which I will be talking about today as well. If you guys are excited, don't forget to let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. What are some of your favorite products from Charlotte Tilbury and what are some of your least favorite? I want to know them all. Thank you very much. Without further ado, let's get started. So I'm gonna start off first with a skincare product from Charlotte Tilbury. And this is actually a product that I'm personally not the biggest fan of from the brand. It is the Charlotte's Magic Cream Light. This is the lightweight version of her famous Magic Cream Moisturizer. Now, honestly, guys, I don't understand the hype with the Magic Cream Moisturizer. I don't feel like it really does anything fantastic for the skin. I find it to be a pretty, normal moisturizer that simply just moisturizes the face. Do I find that it's a good base for underneath makeup? Sure. But I find that that's the case for most moisturizers that are, of similar texture. It is also fairly pricey. I mean, Charlotte Tilbury products in general are definitely on the pricier side. It is what I would consider to be luxe makeup, but I just don't feel like the price is worth it for these moisturizers. I do think that if you are looking for a good moisturizer, I would go for just a completely different brand, just because I just don't think that it's really anything special. This particular moisturizer, it is called the Magic Cream Light, but I actually find that this texture is quite greasy and not lightweight at all. To me, a lightweight moisturizer kind of sinks into the skin really quickly and doesn't feel super heavy on the skin. And not that this feels heavy on the skin, but it definitely feels like it's there and it feels really, like I said, greasy. So it's really just not my favorite. I know we're starting this video off on a not so positive note and I apologize for that, but it's just the truth, man. I just don't like this stuff and I don't think it's worth it. So now it's time for the priming product. Now, honestly, guys, like this was a little bit more of a last minute video. I did have another brand in mind that I wanted to work with today. So unfortunately, I don't have my Hollywood Flawless Filter with me, which is really disappointing because I do feel like that's probably one of the most popular products from the brand. But I will say I use that product very often on my channel. It's not something that you've never seen me use, and it's a product that I do really like. It's a beautiful kind of like highlighting product that you could put underneath your foundation, on top of your foundation. You could mix it in with your foundation or even your moisturizer, and it gives a really pretty glow. I have actually stopped using the Hollywood Flawless Filter because the Auric Glow Lust has completely replaced it for me. Auric Glow Lust is a very similar product, but it is a little bit more natural looking. I find that the Hollywood Flawless Filter has a little bit more of a metallic sheen, whereas the Glow Lust just has more of like a glossy sheen. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to try another product from Charlotte Tilbury that I feel does somewhat of a similar thing, but definitely does not get as much attention as the Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is called the Brightening Youth Glow. So this is essentially a glowy primer. I'll swatch it on the back of my hand so you guys can see. It's this creamy texture right over here. And then it just gives the skin a really pretty glossy effect. And it has a nice moisturized feel to it as well. So if you do have this product, I would totally just use this in place of your moisturizer because it's kind of going to give you both. It's going to give you a glow and it's also going to give your skin that moisturized feel. So this is definitely a really pretty product. It's way more subtle compared to the Hollywood Flawless Filter. So I'm going to put it on my cheekbone area just to kind of give that skin a nice sheen. So this product is definitely nice. Do I feel like it's a must-have from the brand? Not really. I do feel that there are other products from the brand that are much better and that I feel are more unique. There are a lot of glowy primers and glowy moisturizers out on the market in so many different price ranges that I don't necessarily think that this is super special or that you have to pick it up, but it is still pretty. It's not a bad product at all. Now let's talk foundation. Now it's a good thing that our face is nicely moisturized, because this foundation definitely does require a nicely moisturized face, because this is a very, very, very full coverage foundation. And if you do not have good prep going on in your skin, this is going to look really heavy. You also just kind of need to apply it in the right way. So like I said, this is incredibly full coverage. A little bit really goes a long way. And this is a very long wearing formula. I don't really wear this on its own very often, but I actually like to mix this foundation in with other foundations when I want to boost the longevity and coverage of a certain product. We're going to use it on its own today so you guys can see exactly what it looks like. This color is in the shade 4, which is probably going to be too dark for me, and it's probably really going to show because it's a really full coverage product, so there's really no hiding from a bad shade choice. And this is, I think, a bad shade choice, but we're going to try and make it work. So I'm going to put just a little bit on the back of my hand. And when I say a little bit, like I'm talking that much, and I'm telling you this is going to cover my entire face. So I'm going to be using a sponge today because I do feel like with a brush it's just going to get a little bit too heavy and too full coverage for my liking. So I'm really going to work it in with a sponge instead. I'm going to pick it up and kind of tap off the excess off the back of my hand and then start to apply it. And you see how it automatically just like blanked out my face, and I barely put on any product. I have like a foundation mustache right now. Now, if you have dry skin, this foundation can be a little bit tricky. I do find I am able to make it work as long as I prep my skin well, but I would just keep that in mind. Like, I do feel like you need a really nice hydrated base for this to work, but if it is applied nicely, it looks beautiful and looks pretty flawless, honestly. That shade match actually isn't horrible. It's not really too dark. It's just kind of the wrong undertones, a little bit too yellow, but it works. So that's good. If you guys have tried this foundation, I would really love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you like it, if this is like one of your favorites or you really don't like it, I wanna hear what you have to say down below. So now I'm gonna go in with some concealer. I'm gonna be using the Magic Away Liquid Concealer. I really love this concealer. Ugh. The cap is always the biggest pain in the ass to take off though. Get off. So here's what the concealer looks like. This actually isn't what it looks like. It does come with a little doe foot round sponge that sits on top of here, but I took off that sponge a while ago just because I don't love sponges, like sponge applicators for concealers. I just feel like it can get a little bit gross. So instead I just twist it up and dispense on the back of my hand and apply it that way. But this concealer is really pretty, and I actually really love this for every day. This was like one of my go-to everyday concealers at one point. I honestly have kind of forgotten about it. I haven't used it in a while, but I remember the consistency of it being super, super thin. So it sits on the under eyes in a really flattering way, but there's still some pretty good coverage for this. I remember it being like a medium to full coverage. We're gonna try it out. I kind of forget, honestly. So let's see. And I'm gonna be using the shade 3 today. So I'm gonna use the same sponge, pick up some of the product. Oh yeah, this is definitely a full coverage concealer. I really just like the consistency of this. I don't know why I stopped using it. I feel like I need to get a fresh bottle though, because mine is looking a little bit crusty. I may or may not be applying expired concealer on my face right now, but even if I am, it's looking really, really good. It's one of those formulas where like when you put it on your face, it sticks to where you put it. It's not going to slip and slide around. It's not a very emollient texture, but it just kind of like locks down, which is really nice. I find that this is a consistency that you don't necessarily have to set down with powder. And if you're somebody who does not like powder, that's always nice. So something to keep in mind. So now let's talk about another very popular product from Charlotte Tilbury, and that is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I mean, you see this? Yeah, that just shows that I love this powder. This has been probably one of my favorite go-to powders over the last 2-3 years. I don't know. It's been a while. We've been in a long-term relationship, this powder and I. This powder is really beautiful. It's a very, very finely milled powder. It's very smoothing. It looks beautiful on the skin. I find that this is a very flattering powder. As somebody with dry skin, you guys know I'm very picky. This works great. I like it for underneath the eyes. I like it for around the face. It kind of just works. It's just like a good powder. Now, one of the questions that I have been getting most often lately is asking me to compare this powder to the new Kosas Cloud Set, because you guys know I'm in like a complete love affair with that powder. Like, I cannot stop talking about it. And here I am again talking about it in yet another video. I think I'm like, I don't know, 10 videos deep where I've spoken about it in every single video that I've uploaded. It's kind of ridiculous, but that powder is beautiful. It's very, very similar to this, but I do feel like the Kosas powder is more smoothing and even more lightweight. I prefer the Kosas powder over the Charlotte Tilbury one. But regardless, not comparing it to the Kosas, this is still a really beautiful powder, and I do feel like it's one of the best products that Charlotte Tilbury has. So I'm gonna take it on my Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes brush. This is number 02. And I'm just gonna use it underneath my eyes, center of the face. It's a really beautiful powder, it really is. I mean, clearly, you guys, like, hello, hit pan here. I've used it a ton. Ooh, you guys, I really like this base. Like, I like this combo a lot. So I have 3 bronzer contour products that I'm committed to using on my face all at the same time today. I have the classic Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. This is like one of the limited edition holiday ones, but you have the contour shade and the highlight shade here. I have the newer Airbrush bronzer in number 2. And then I also have the Hollywood Contour Wand. This is a creamy liquid contour color. So I'm trying to think like how I should use this so that I could actually use all of these products. And I think the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to just kind of add some warmth to the entirety of my face using the Airbrush bronzer. So this bronzer, we've had kind of an up and down relationship. When I first tried this, I really did not like this product. It's pretty much the same kind of formula as the powder. So it's a very, very smooth, very sheer powder. And I actually didn't like that about this bronzer because I found that it kind of took forever for me to build it up and for me to get good bronzer color. But then I started to use this bronzer for those reasons, especially for when I want something a little bit more natural looking, a little bit softer. This is a really beautiful product because it's really hard to, first of all, over apply this. It's hard to get harsh lines with it. I can kind of just like sweep it on my face and I know it's gonna look good. It's just like a very buildable product, so I would just keep that in mind. I do actually find that it kind of gives the skin a smoothing effect too, because like I said, it is a pretty similar formula to the Airbrush powder. Anyways, so I'm just putting this all over just to kind of warm up my skin. You see, it just gave like a really nice subtle hint of bronze. It's perfect. So now I'm gonna go in with the contour one. This is a liquid contour. This one is fair to medium. This is actually probably one of my favorite contour products, especially because it's a cream. I just really like how it blends out onto the skin. I find it to be very flattering. And there's not a ton of creams out there that have this type of tone to it. It's a cool toned cream, but it's also not too cool toned where it leans too gray. It's kind of just that perfect contour color for my skin tone. And so I do really, really like this, and it blends super easily. It's just like it's just a good contour. You see, no harsh lines, blended, no problem. I'm using the same sponge as before. You really just need a very, very small amount when applying this. All right, the last contour product we're gonna be using is the Film Star Bronze and Glow. I'm gonna be taking the Sculpt shade, and my brush is the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes 04 brush. I do like this powder. I do find it blends nicely. I like the tone of it. It looks super light in the pan, but I find it still works really nicely for my skin tone. It's not really a product that I go to very often anymore, although it used to be. It used to be one of my go-to and most used products. I remember I had an old compact and I hit pan on both of the shades here. Just right now in my makeup life, I don't really use dedicated contour powder so much anymore. I'll more likely just go in with just like a bronzer and just use that to sculpt my face. but this is a beautiful product. And all three of those bronzers, while it's an incredibly extra routine to go in with 3 different bronzing products, they look beautiful together. Like, even though that's a lot of product, I don't feel like it looks completely overdone. I mean, I look bronzed, but it's not like over the top. Okay, I'm going to go in with the highlight and just use this to highlight the tops of my cheekbones. This is a really pretty highlight. It gives a nice glossy finish, especially for a powder highlighter. It looks really pretty. By the way, I'm noticing that the foundation is looking very, very dry around my nose area, and it was kind of like flaking off the tip of my nose, which looked a little bit odd. It looks really good everywhere else, but just like around my mouth and nose where I am a little bit drier, you can see it. So just wanted to note that. Okay, for the blush, I'm going to be using the Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blusher in the shade Ecstasy. So these Cheek to Chic blushes, let's be honest, they look like nipples. All of them do. Every single time I open up one of these blushes, it's all I can see, especially this one. I mean, come on. But hey, we're all adults here, it's fine. So the whole point of this blush is that you're supposed to use the outside rim on the cheekbone, and then you're supposed to use the inside color on the apple of the cheek. So it's swish, pop. Kind of nice because it does give you almost like a 3-in-1. You can use just the outside color, just the inside color, use them both, or you can mix them together. So actually it's kind of like a 4-in-1. So today I'm just gonna mix it all together. This is a really pretty peachy shade. It's very soft. Ooh, I love this color. And it does have a really pretty glow to it too. So it's adding some nice highlight to the cheeks. Oh my God, this color. That is a good color. It's really, really soft. It almost looks like it wouldn't show up on my skin, but it's the blushes that always look a little bit boring that are always the prettiest. Like, this is giving me just like peachy, bronzy vibes, and I love it. Oh my God, I'm just piling this on right now. I do really like the formula of these two. They apply nicely to the skin. Okay, I'm very blushed. I'm gonna stop now. So I zoomed you guys in a little bit more because we're gonna be playing with the eyes. I have the Pillow Talk Luxury Palette of Pops eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like. It's very pretty. It has 4 different metallic shades. These shades are supposed to act kind of like as eye toppers. So they're not all like very intensely metallic, opaque eyeshadows. They don't look very impressive, honestly, when you swatch them on their own like that, because they're not really meant to be these like full-on crazy metallic eyeshadow. She does have a bunch of different formulas in her eyeshadow palette, and this palette in particular is really just those topper shades, so they are a little bit more sheer in texture. I also brought out one of her all matte palettes just to try out so you guys can see how her mattes work. This is called Desert Haze. Oh my God, wait a second, I almost forgot a cheek product. Wait, pause, rewind. I feel like this product is having a little bit of a moment right now because Madison Beer spoke about it in one of her like Vogue tutorials, Get Ready With Me's, and it's the Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand High Blush, and this one is in Peachgasm. So it's like a blush and the highlighter had a baby. So I swatched in kind of an odd area, but that's what it looks like. You can see it's very reflective, but it has that blush color to it, and this is so pretty. It really is, and I think it is honestly worth the hype. I really love this product, especially if you like glowy cheeks. Will likely really like this. I typically would not layer it on top of like a powder blush. Not that there's really anything wrong with that. I just feel like it's going to be maybe a little overkill, or maybe not. Maybe it's actually just right. I actually think that looks really pretty. It looks a lot less metallic and insane when you actually blend it out on your cheek. When I swatch it over here, it looks like really, really intense, but when it's actually melted into the skin, it looks honestly gorgeous. I think I have like 6 products on my cheeks right now. There's just a lot going on. Charlotte also has a highlighter that looks like this. It's basically this exact formula, but instead of it being peach, it's just a highlighter shade. Also absolutely beautiful, probably one of my favorite liquid highlighters, but we have so much glow going on, we do not need more. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I feel like those 2 products are so similar that you know, if I show you one, it's kind of like I'm showing you both. Okay, fast forward now, back to the eyes. I'm gonna go back into the mattes over here. And to start off, I think I'm just going to go in with this peachy shade in the corner. Just put that in the crease, and I'm using the Katie Jane Hue Spectrum number 10 brush. As far as the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows go, I do like them. I think they've definitely improved their formula over the years. I used to really not like them. Would I go out and purchase one of the matte quads? No, only because they are pricey, and there's so many matte eyeshadows on the market that you can get something else, probably a much bigger palette for the same price. So I don't think it's worth it to get something basic like this. But if you're into like the toppers or the more of the metallic shades, and you want to pick up a palette from Charlotte Tilbury, then I think that would be a better road to go down. But they do work really nicely, the mattes. They blend super pretty. They used to be very, very stiff back in the day. For my lid, I'm gonna go in with this shade. Put it on my finger and just put it all over the lid. Oh, see, this is so pretty. It gives like a nice wash of pink sparkle. Just gonna go back into the matte palette. I'm gonna grab this shade over here, the dark brown. And I'm just gonna deepen this up a little bit on the lash line. I'm gonna go in with some eyeliner. I'm going to be using the Feline Flick Quick Fine Line pen in Super Brown. This is actually one of my favorite liquid eyeliners. I really love the color of this. It's a really nice, deep, rich brown. So I'm going to create a nice thin line across my entire lash line and kind of make a little inner corner flick and an outer corner flick. See how easy that was for me to just create that wing? I don't know if it's because it's brown and so it's less intimidating for me, and so I just go in with more confidence, but it just, I find it so easy. Now I'm going to go in with this eyeliner duo. This is the Hollywood Exagger Eyes Liner Duo Matte and Metallic. So this guy is really nice because you have two different colors. You have a black and then you have a champagne. So I'm just gonna use this to line the inner part of my waterline, like right over here, just to kind of add some light and brighten. This color is beautiful, oh my goodness. I do really like the Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner formula. They're very creamy. Oof, like that. Then I'm gonna go in with the black and use that on my upper waterline. I'm actually also going to take a little bit of the matte shadow and just put it on my lower lash line, using the same one that I use in the crease, just to kind of balance it out. So I'm gonna do my mascara and brows off camera because Charlotte Tilbury mascara never works for me. I'm not even gonna bother using it today. It smudges on me within 3 seconds and it completely ruins my eye looks every single time. It's really frustrating because I actually do like the way the mascara makes my lashes look, but it just gives me raccoon eyes within seconds. So I'm not gonna apply that today. And I also don't like the Charlotte Tilbury brow products, and I don't even have any here with me to show you guys. So I am going to skip on that too, but I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna finish this look off with the lip. Okay, you guys, I'm really liking the way everything turned out for the look today. I'm actually really loving all the glowiness on my cheeks too. Okay, so for the lip, I'm gonna go in first with one of her lip liners. This is the Lip Cheat in the shade Love Trap. The Charlotte Tilbury lip liners are really pretty. I do like how creamy they are. They last really well. They're definitely really good lip liners. I think Pillow Talk is probably the most famous shade. Love Trap though is really pretty too. Nice like deep mauve-y color. For my lipstick, I'm gonna use Super Nude. I actually have not tried this color before, which is why I wanted to use it today. It's a really pretty kind of more brownie nude. Her lipsticks are also really pretty. They're very creamy. That is a very pretty color. It's very 90s. Okay, to finish off the lip, I'm gonna go in with a gloss. This is Walk of No Shame gloss. It smells very minty. To finish everything off, I'm going to use the setting spray. This is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is actually one of my favorite setting sprays. I find it works really well in locking in makeup. The only thing What I don't like about it is the scent. It's pretty fragranced. All right, guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed seeing this full face of Charlotte Tilbury. Again, don't forget to let me know all of your thoughts in the comments, your thoughts on all the products that I used today, what some of your personal favorite Charlotte Tilbury products are, and what are some products that you don't like so much. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let's chat down there. Hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy today's video, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.